Alright, so the patch notes for the title update 10 PTS phase 3 just went live, and the update will be live I think in a few hours, or probably when you're watching this video it's probably live already. But before we go into that though, I'm pretty sure some guys are gonna see my hat and maybe even the t-shirt I have here. And I know, like, since I've been streaming on Twitch, a lot of people have been asking about like where you can get that. So I will put a link in the description. It's Darken, DRKN, and they are selling some really high quality Division merch. Like, this is not sponsored. However, if you use my link in the description for 20% off, I will get a percentage from the purchase though. But I thought I would just mention that before we go into the video. But with that said though, let's just get straight into the patch notes. So gameplay changes. So general, increased rifle base ammo capacity by 50%. That's kind of good. I know, especially playing MDR, you kind of have a big issue with ammo. And let's be honest, like, nobody actually likes to not have ammo, right? So this is welcomed. Gunner specialization and placement talent weapon handling bonus reduced from 15% to 10%. And that's of course because they buffed weapon handling by like 4 times the amount. So instead of getting, I think, 2.5 of each stats, you get like 10% now, I think. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, I guess. NPC and difficulty balance. Reverted increases to base NPC status effect resistance in heroic and legendary difficulties during PTS phase 2. And I'm pretty sure if you have been following the PTS, you know about this, and a lot of people freaked out, so they are reverting that. And they put a note here, so some legendary bosses and specific archetypes in phase 3 unfortunately did not have their resistance reverted. This has already been fixed in title update 10, where they've been fully reverted back to previously levels, which makes me believe that this is the last phase, and they probably already putting out, and they probably already sent in the patch, right? Because it takes around 2 weeks for the consoles to approve it. That doesn't mean if you go to the PTS and give them feedback that it's useless, but they will probably be added in a later stage. So the developer comment. One of the obvious advantages to running a PTS in multiple phases is we can be afforded the opportunity to try to experiment ideas while receiving immediately feedback. We knew this would be a controversial change, but wanted to try it anyway in order to see how it would affect the endgame meta. Unfortunately, one of the things we failed to do was appreciate just how much a blanket resistance buff to NPCs would affect the viability of non-crowd control status effect builds. We never intended to release title update 10 with any sort of nerf as significant as that, and fully intend to land somewhere much lower than the resistant values seen in PTS phase 2. Despite those intentions, we agreed these resistance changes are not in the best interest of the game, so they have been entirely reverted in favor of addressing the particular crowd control skills we feel are currently scaling too high in both uptime and frequency. More information on those changes can be found below in the skills portion of these patch notes. I mean, I think we can all agree that crowd controls are extremely strong, and I feel like the uptime is a bit too high. But it doesn't mean like they should get destroyed though. Like a minor nerf, especially with the new CC set, which is like insane. But I think they went a little bit too ham on it. But yeah, we will see in title update 10. Then we have looters. So loot containers part of living world activity now scales with global difficulty. So I guess all the loot containers now are actually useful. Developer comments. Several issues regarding loot not scaling properly in PTS phase 2 have been addressed. Then we have exotics. So developer comment. Title update 10's buff to weapon handling meant some exotics weapon mods no longer made sense or resulted in overtune performance that no longer fit with the original design profile. We also took this opportunity to make improvements to underperforming exotic mods / configurations. That sounds good. Hopefully Bighorn, I see it here, will have a mag, a bigger mag size. So Bighorn, big game headhunter, headshot now grants 2 headshot damage instead of 1. That's quite a big change. Increased optimal range from 27 to 40, that's good too. Optic mod bonus increased from 0 to 30 headshot damage, that's huge. Magazine mod bonus changed from 7 headshot damage to 10 reload speed. So that's a lot more headshot damage. Basically 23% more headshot damage just from the mods and 10% more reload speed. and more range and 2% more. I mean, still, I think the issue is kind of the mag size, but I mean, they buffing the damage like this, that might be interesting. I mean, 2 headshot damage now instead of 1, like that's a huge buff. We'll see if that will be enough though. Then we have a Mantis, the new exotic sniper. So optics mod bonus increased from 35% to 40 headshot damage. Muscle mod bonus changed from 7 headshot damage to 5 critical hit chance. So more crit chance on that gun. Now highlights weak points when aiming through the scope. Yeah, that was something that I was missing, that I felt was missing with it, so that's really good to see. Nemesis, optic mod bonus increased from 35 to 45 headshot damage. Under barrel mod bonus reduced from 15 to 5% weapon handling. So it will like it will still be a bit better, right? Since I think weapon handling got buffed by 4 times. Then we have a Chameleon. Adaptive Instinct increased the number of hits required to gain the body shot buff from 60 to 75 and increased its weapon damage bonus from 80 to 90. That seems fine. Then we have Optics mod bonus changed from 15% accuracy to 15 crit chance. That's huge, dude. That's really huge because the gun have so bad accuracy, so even with that you didn't notice it. So I mean, getting this is huge. This is huge. Muscle mod bonus changed from 5 crit chance to 10 accuracy. Okay, so we lose 5 crit chance here. So in total we get 10 more crit chance and 5% more accuracy. So that's a good buff. So that's a good buff. The underbarrel mod bonus changed from 10 crit chance to 10 stability. Okay, then we lost 10 more crit chance, so we not gaining any crit chance anymore. Hype is gone. So we lose 5 accuracy then, and we gain 10 stability, which means this gun is just gonna have less recoil. Yeah, I'm actually not a fan about this. It was good all the way here, then the underbarrel. No, I don't like that. Screw stability. But I guess for some people that maybe had problem with recoil on this gun, maybe that's good. But personally, for me, this is really bad. But with the other buffs the gun got, I think it still will be pretty viable. Then we have a Merciless and Ruthless. Binary Trigger reduced the amplified weapon damage at 7 stack from 900% to 500. So apparently that was too strong. Huh? I didn't test that. And the explosion damage from 1200% to 500. Huh, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Because that's a lot of nerfs, right? Muscle mod bonus reduced from 20 to 10 stability. Underbarrel mod bonus reduced from 20 to 10 weapon handling. Keep in mind, weapon handling is 4 times stronger than before Title Update 10, right? Magazine mod bonus reduced from 15% to 10% reload speed. So like in terms of weapon handling, like reload speed, stability, accuracy, this is getting buffed, right? But I'm a bit confused here though. This seems like a big nerf. So let's see what they have to say here actually. So Merciless was previously balanced for its very unwieldy handling and compensated with very high burst damage. With access to much higher weapon handling, this is being toned down dramatically. Okay. But I know a lot of people, especially if you play with controller, have complained that this gun is too hard to control. And I mean, even with a mouse, it's not the easiest gun to control for sure in terms of Division 2. So yeah, I guess they want to keep that with the gun. So Eaglebear, the underbarrel mod from 10 stability to 10 weapon handling, that's a big buff. That's a big buff. It means more reload speed, more accuracy, more weapon swap speed. Then we have Lady Deathfare, Brief Fire. Lower the amount of max stacks from 40 to 32 and increase the damage amp per stack from 60 to 75. The thing is with Lady Death though, as long as you have 1 stack, you will deal more damage. So this means that you can't be on the move as much as you could before. And increase the damage amp per stack from 60 to 75. So does that mean the 75 is the max now? I guess that means, so I guess more damage, but you have to move more. Which sounds good to me actually. Optic mod bonus from 5 to 10 crit chance, that's a buff. And then we have the barrel, we get crit damage instead. So we kind of back to the crit chance it had, but with 5 crit damage plus. Underbarrel mod changed from 5 crit damage to 500 melee damage. Okay, This makes sense. I mean, if you look at the gun. And this, my friend, like I already wanted to make a melee build, but I kind of didn't do it because, I mean, I lost a bit of interest in the game, let's be honest. But with this, 100% I'm doing a melee build in Untitled Update 10. For PvP even. Like, this is gonna be insane. 500 melee damage? Whew. Then we have Pestilence. Muzzle mod bonus change from 10 stability to 10 accuracy. Underbarrel, 10 weapon handling to 10 stability. Chatterbox, we have 5% to 15 crit chance. And then we have the muzzle from 10 crit chance to 5 crit damage. So once again with 5 critical hit damage plus. Under barrel mod bonus reduced from 15 to 10 weapon handling. Still gonna perform better than before Untitled Update 10 by quite a lot. Because weapon handling got buffed. Mag mod bonus changed from 10 reload speed to 10 rounds. That means we're gonna have an even bigger mag. I like that for Chatterbox. That's gonna make it a bit easier to play as well. Because a lot of times, you like the 10 extra bullets is actually huge for this. It's gonna make it so much easier to maintain your RPM, right? Liberty. Got optic mods here, so from crit chance to headshot damage. Then we have the muzzle from 15 stability to 5 crit chance. So we kind of plus 5 headshot damage, but we lost the stability right now. Mag bonus change from 15 reload speed to 15 weapon handling. That's huge. Okay, Liberty is getting buffed like crazy. 15 weapon handling, that's a lot. So it's gonna be a bit more better accuracy, stability basically the same. And yeah, no longer highlight weak points. I mean, that makes sense. So that's pretty decent. Should be a decent buff for Liberty. Regulus muzzle mod bonus change from 5 crit hit damage to 20 accuracy. So the last phase, I think they buffed the initial bullet accuracy and now 20 more accuracy. I think that's great. Like, you don't need a 15, like you don't need a 5 critical hit damage. You just want it to be really precise. That should be good. Gear sets, we have the Foundry Bulwark, which is the tank set. Makeshift repairs, repair over time effect, reduced from 40% of the damage taken over 10 seconds to 20% over 15. So that's quite a big nerf. But I mean, last time I played this, it was really broken. Yeah, but this set definitely needed some tuning for both PvE and PvP. So hopefully test this and it works better. Improved materials now increase makeshift repairs from 20 to 30% over 15 seconds. Okay, so that's a bigger buff. Process refinery now increase makeshift repairs speed from 15 seconds to 10. Okay. The intention for Foundry Bulwark is for it to be primary gear set choice for tanks or players looking to maximize their survivability, especially when paired with a shield such as the Bulwark. Maybe that's because of the name, right? These values should be better represent the level of survivability we intended this gear set to provide, as we still want situational awareness and smart positioning to be a factor in moment-to-moment decision-making. The previous tuning during PTS Phase 1 and 2 meant even bad play couldn't be punished due to the overly generous damage reduction and self-repair strength. Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. End of the day, Division... like, position is something that you want. Like, they want you to play smart, and they want it to be a cover-based shooter, right? Like, they don't want this to be like, I don't know, like Destiny, Warframe or whatever. Like, Division, like, you always gonna get punished if you not play smart, right? And that's what they want with the game, even though it's RPG game. So you gotta keep that in mind. Brand sets. Incoming repair brand set bonus increased from 15% to 20%. Weapons, we have some damage increases and we have damage reduction on MPX, so a little bit tuned there, like really small numbers. Then we have skills and the Seeker Mine. So Cluster Seeker Mine targeting accuracy improved. And the comment from the dev here. The Cluster Seeker Mine is not intended to be as accurate as the explosive variant. Once it is a certain distance from its target, it locks the location it is aiming for and continues towards that regardless of where its original target agent has since moved to. This bull charge behavior reflects the mini mines. less advanced technology and balances the skill mod's effectiveness. This said, we have noticed that the Cluster Seeker's accuracy has been a source of frustration, so we shorten the distance until it activates its bull charge and adjust it when it decides to explode. These adjustments should make the Cluster Seeker feel more accurate, but these are measured steps as we do not want the skill to return to its OP Title Update 7 state. That sounds good to me. Then we have the Stinger Hive, base damage reduced by 20%. I think last phase it got buffed by 75, so keep that in mind. So the minus 20, it's not bad, like it still got a huge buff earlier, if I remember correctly. Then we have Stinger Hive damage bonus per skill tier increased from 10 to 20%. So there you go, there's the buff again, which is pretty huge if you stack all skill tiers, right? Then it's even buffed, because you get 10% more per skill tier. In order to make investing in skill tiers have a greater impact on the Stinger Hive's damage, we slightly reduce the base drone damage while doubling the amount of damage gained with each skill tier. These changes will result in a net buff for dedicated skill builds with a 10% increase in Stinger Hive drone damage at the skill tier 6 compared to Title Update 9's live values. Restore Hive now gains 5% the drone fly speed per skill tier. That's good, so it will be faster. That's 30% faster than now if you maxed. Increase to the Restore Hive radius had the unfortunate effect of increasing the time it took for repair drones to reach their targets. Okay, so that's basically why they buffed it. Chem Launcher, Riot Foam Chem Launcher and Snare Duration bonus per skill tier reduced from 20 to 10%. Firefly, Blind Duration bonus per skill tier reduced from 20 to 10. I mean, I think we all can agree that the duration of blind... I think we all can agree that the duration of a Firefly with Blinder, it's just maybe a little bit too much. Like, I love my crowd control build, but it feels really freaking strong and legendary and makes it so easy. Should be viable, but I personally feel like it's a bit too strong. Blinder Firefly base blind duration reduced from 6 to 5, so it's getting a little bit nerfed there, which I think makes sense. Pulse, Banshee Pulse base confused duration reduced from 5 to 4, makes sense too. Just a little tiny nerf. Jammer Pulse base disrupt duration reduced from 4 to 3. And I think you need to look at this right here. So it says base, which means if you don't have any skill tier. So it's still gonna be pretty effective if you spec skill tier. But Banshee is like But Banshee Pulse is extremely strong while not even having any skill tier, and same with the Jammer, so they're nerfing that, which I think is good. Shock Trap base shock duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. PvP duration remains unchanged. I don't even know what the duration of PvP is, hopefully balanced. Shock Trap base radius increased from 2 meters to 2.5. So lower duration, but bigger radius. That's a lot of holy shit, okay. I think the video is already going so long, so yeah, you can just pause the video here and read this, because I try to make the videos not too long, but there's a lot of text here, like a lot, you know. I kind of mainly want to go through the notes, and this is just too much. But if you want the explanation of the CC here, feel free to just pause the video and read it. But I'm gonna continue to PvP here. So gear sets, Foundry Bulwark, makeshift repairs, repair over time effect reduced by 50% in PvP. That's a huge nerf. And a lot of people saying that they don't nerf different than PvE and PvP. Like, they could have nerfed this by 80% if they felt like this set was balanced in PvE. But obviously, they didn't feel like it was balanced in PvE, and it wasn't, so yeah. Because I remember last PTS phase on the video I made, I saw a lot of people complaining about PvP destroying PvE, but they can do it separately, which they are doing here. So yeah, that's not the case. Well, weapons, shotgun PvP damage reduced, pistol PvP damage reduced. Damn, so pistols were really good, I guess. I didn't try PvP at all in PTS. It was really hard to find people actually. Merciless, Ruthless, Binary Trigger Amp weapon damage and explosive damage reduced by 50%. Skills, Firestarter Chem Launcher PvP damage reduced by 20. Stinger Hive PvP damage increased. Striker Dome PvP damage increased. Assault Turret PvP damage increased. damn, this is like scary to see, but I mean, hopefully it makes them like viable. But you don't want to see like Stinger Hive, Striker drone, a turret, and Chem Launcher Firestarter to be the meta, I would say. It should be viable and good, but it shouldn't be like the go-to, in my opinion. Because that's kind of what we have right now, with the Firestarter being like really good. And it creates, for a lot of people, a frustrating experience, as far as I know. And that's basically what they say here as well. And then there's bug fixes. I guess we can read the dev comment then. We want dedicated skill builds that have multiple powerful defensive tools for area denial/control. In attempt to replace the loss in bleed damage on the Stinger Hive during the first wave of PTS, we overcompensated with a buff to the Hive's base drone damage that made it too powerful in the hands of a non-skilled build. In order to address that, we lowered both the base damage and PvP modified damage of the Stinger Hive's drones, but doubled the amount of damage gained from skill tiers. So we went through before. I think that's a good way to do it. The end result is a minus 55% reduction in Stinger Hive damage compared to PTS Phase 2 values at skill tier 0. So basically, if you don't spec skill tier, your skill is gonna suck, which makes sense. And minus 10% at skill tier 6, which is like not a big deal at all, right? Compared to Title Update 9 live values, it remains a 20 to 65% increase in Stinger Hive damage in PvP, which is like pretty crazy though. But then again, they did remove the bleed, so I guess then it's fine. The bleed was like crazy strong with this. So then it all should make somewhat sense. I don't really PvP though, so you guys let me know, I guess. Then we have some bug fixes. Not that many this time. Of course, there's probably more, but it's probably hard to get all of that in. Gonna scan through it quick here. Just fixing a lot of stuff. Like last time I saw some interesting stuff with like Striker, but most of the time it's just small fixes. But yeah, that's basically it. It was quite a lot of changes actually. I didn't expect this much changes in PTS 3, especially like all the weapon handling stuff and mods changing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, it shouldn't be too far away to Title Update 10 though. They said still, like they still said they would say 2 weeks before the raid is gonna go live. So I mean, I think personally the raid is probably like a month away, maybe even more. But Title Update 10, maybe 2-3 weeks away. Like reading it in the beginning, it kind of feels like this is the last PTS and they sent in the patch or gonna do that soon. And then usually that takes like 2 weeks for that process. So I assume like 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe raid in July. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video and catch you guys in the next one.